Hi all. Right, so what have we got going on? By the way, do you like the new video without the funny black edges? The reason was I've got some stupid app called CP Pro or whatever that lets you pause the video but it puts those silly black lines on it. So let's go back to the normal and I'll just cut in between. Yeah, anyway, it'll be rubbish, but still. Right, okay, so what's going on? Okay, look, so this is what I've discovered. Now, that's supposed to live there, right? And then the idea is that half cock is that it releases it so that you can get in and get at this. So you can open the frizzen, apparently that's called. The idea also of half cock is you can't pull the trigger on half cock. What you have to do is you have to pull the hammer back to release it. So look, we can actually see here. If we look at these, see how that one, see how the sear engages there. You see how it doesn't matter. Assume that the spring's pushing here, right? It can't unengage without actually rotating against the rotating against the spring. So it really is quite stuck in there. So you see how that jams there. What it's supposed to be for actually firing is you see how these are supposed to be at 90 degrees to each other. So like that. So the idea is that that sits there. And then this sweeps down and away, but as you notice, they're not really touching, are they? But imagine those two are touching. So that sweeps down without having to push the hammer back, so push against the spring. The idea is the trigger just goes whoop down there at 90 degrees. Let's see if we can get closer, shall we? So that goes, yeah, as you can tell, it's not touching, but so that sits there at 90 degrees. This one, sorry, this one here, yeah, that's the main seal catching point, and then that just goes whoop down and releases it, so that will be held against spring pressure. But look, what's actually happening now is that where that's catching, if it even catches at all, so imagine that the spring's pushing here. Look at that, spring is, I mean, it's cocked, it's only at half cocked, and at half cocked it's closed. Terrible. And that's all because of the slop in this. So the slop here is allowing it to move all over the bloody shop like that. Okay? And also the other thing is, you see how that sear isn't close enough? Look how oval that is. So look, let's put this screw in place and you can get an idea of how much slop there is in there. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, I was considering doing what obviously the last guy did, which is get out a bloody big hammer. Got my best hammer out, and then I thought, no, you know what? Let's try and do this a different way. So I was considering turning myself up a little brass insert to put in that. Well, it's not exactly a round hole, is it? But you can see where it's worn. I was considering that. I was considering a bush basically that sits in there to bush out the sear. Considering beating that again, maybe up here to push it in, but don't think so. It's considering, I don't know, a whole series of things. But look, there's another problem here as well, which is this. Let's just get this round in the right way again. That sits there and that sits on there. The other problem here is that nothing is straight. Like I said, the blacksmith made this bloody thing. So look, let's sit that flat against that there, right? And let's rotate it. I mean, just look at the angles in that. There's just no way. Look at that. See what I mean by an angle? Bloody hell. And you straighten that up, that's like that. Woo, woo, woo. Not good. Anyway, so what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I was going to get me TIG out. And I was going to run a tiny bead round, but TIG's currently on scratch because the high frequency's gone, so I won't do that. I think I might get the MIG out, and what I'll do is, because that's mostly hidden by that anyway, I'll get that out. I'll fill in that little bit there, and then I can file it down to flat, so I should get that back so as a repair, so no one would notice. Anyway, so that's that bit I'm going to try. This piece, what I'm thinking of doing is, you see the thin bit there? I think I might cut that with a grinder, fold this back in on itself that way to tighten up the hole and re-weld it. Don't know, not sure yet, but that's just nowhere even close. And then of course, I'm still not sure that these will actually meet up where they need to, because so let's tighten that right in. I'm still not sure that these will meet quite where they want to, because even if you push this bit right close up to there, it still doesn't quite seem to match up, does it? Look, so that's kind of where that should be there, like that. And really, there's like a mil or two wrong, isn't there? I mean, that could almost do with being sort of there. But one of the easiest jobs is to build up the tip of the sear. But we'll see, yeah. Woggly. Right, okay, so let's have a go at that and let's see what happens. I actually think, by the way, that this original iPhone app, the original video app from the iPhone is better than that one I purchased. Oh, I tried shimming it, by the way, just to see. I got a little bit of a Red Bull can and just shimmed the sear to see whether I could improve matters at all, just to test, obviously not to leave in, but just to test. Didn't really seem to help. So yeah, so we'll whip the welder out and we'll have a little go. I'm kind of hoping this isn't something nasty like cast iron, but it doesn't look like it is. It looks like it's beaten. But with the first touch, we'll know. So we'll try that. I'll come back to you when I've run a little bit of a bead and we'll see where we are from there.